want to say good morning, everyone. Everyone for being here. This is a day that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Amen. Especially after yesterday with our first annual gospel concert. It was a blast, man. The Lord was in this place last night, man. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome. And we thank God for that. Today is kind of an unusual Sunday school today because we're going to be short, but I was a little shorter than normal with our Sunday school lesson because at the end of our Sunday school lesson this morning, we'll be having our church school board meeting. So we'll do that, and then we'll close out Sunday school. And once we close out Sunday school, we'll shut down all our social platforms, and then we'll go into our church school board meeting for this quarter. Amen. So our lesson today is no one is teaching the lesson in particular. It's open. This is an open lesson, so you can chime in when you want to get in. So we want to try to the last 25 minutes of Sunday school. So roughly around 9:50. Yes, 9:50. Around 9:50, we're going to try to wrap up Sunday school. Then we'll get into our church school board meeting. So really about 9:45 or so, we're going to be done with Sunday school, not soon. All right? So we'll make sure everybody understands the guidelines. So, think about anything that we need to discuss in our church school board meeting. We'll go over that agenda. The agenda is on your little pink sheet that you have. Everyone should have got one of those early on. The back of that is our agenda. I may have some extra copies for those that may need one at that point. But now, just getting into the lesson this morning, a great lesson as we continue this quarter, spring quarter of our church school. And we're looking at God frees and God redeems. God frees and God redeems. Now, we can just stop part of that and talk about that all day long. But we all have been freed from some situations that we've been in. And then God has redeemed us. You know, He's redeemed us. And He's redeemed us in a mighty, mighty way. Because He's given His sacrifice, His Son, for us. For the sins of this world. So we have been redeemed, but we were bought with a price. Amen? Amen. But this quarter, we're looking at liberating Passover. A liberating Passover. And of course, we've been looking at the memory of the liberating events of the Exodus, the memory of the Exodus when it was relived in the Passover liturgy, and it's cultivated a desire for restoration and liberation for the Hebrew people. It was told in the books of Ezra and Deuteronomy. This is what we've been talking about all quarter. If you notice the first lesson, we talked about the Babylonians being in captivity. We talked about that, how they were in captivity for 70 years, and God had brought them out of that situation. You know, we had a great lesson right there. We talked about captivity. And then we moved on to our second lesson on March 13th. We talked about the freedom to worship. The freedom to worship. We looked at that last week. And we looked at review and we pondered and we confessed our feelings before God. And we saw how things were going on and how people were told to rebuild the temple. You know, they got the opportunity, the green light to rebuild the temple. We've seen the different kings, how the kings and the governor, and King Cyrus, King Darius, and Governor Tatnai, all the different folks who were involved in this. And they gave permission for the temple to be rebuilt. Okay? We know Solomon built the temple. We know that. Now, this we talk about it was torn down. When people taken in captivity because of that disobedience to God. But now we see how God is restoring His people and putting people in place for them to be able to rebuild the temple. And that's a magnificent thing. It's a very important thing. And sometimes there's going to be some obstacles in our way when we try to rebuild. We're going to have some setbacks. You know, but our setbacks are just a setup for our blessing. But we don't see that sometimes, you know. We don't see that coming. But this is just a kind of a history and a chronological review of where we are right now. So we are looking now, and when rebuilding the temple, it was not something that everybody wanted to do. You know, they had a lot of disposition, a lot of people were opposition against rebuilding the temple. But when God set out to do something, can't nobody stop it. If it's God's will to get what we done, it's going to be done. That's why we all say that our will be done, that God's will be done, not our will. Because our will need to line up with God's will. Because if it lines up with God's will, we know it's going to come to fruition. That's the beautiful thing about serving God and putting ourselves to the side and not being selfish. okay? But we see that the temple on today's lesson, this is our third lesson for this quarter, and it is titled Celebrate Passover Liberation. So we know it started with celebration or celebrate. That means something good has happened. Something good has happened. And we all have times in our life when we celebrate some issues, some situations, some memories, some events in our life. But today's lesson is about celebrating the rebuilding and the finishing up of the temple. Last week they were told that y'all try to keep the thing from happening, whatever you do, it's gonna be tough on you. So we're gonna tear down your house and make a gallows so we can hang you on your own wood from your own house. That's how serious this thing was. And we knew that a lot of things got done because they had the support of the governor. They had King Cyrus, they had King Darius, who gave out all those decrees, and then the people started guessing, and trying to tell them not to do it, but when they realized the king was on board, the governor was on board, they knew they couldn't stop that. MC Hamilton, you can't stop this. They couldn't stop it. They couldn't stop it. I'm telling you, if God is in it, you ain't got to worry about it. So today, looking at celebrate Passover liberation. What a great lesson, And y'all chime in when you want to. Now, I'm not teaching the lesson, I'm just trying to bring this apart. So y'all chime in when you want to. There are microphones scattered out, so if any one of them know, it's Miss Gurney.
I'm just going to say, both of those kings were pagan.
Yes.
And that tells me God can do whatever he wanted.
Oh, yeah.
All we have to do is trust him.
That's right.
And that was what, and another thing that brought out, it mentioned about how with the procrastination, and that's my middle name, procrastination. And it tells, don't be procrastinating when it comes to God's word. And that was a good lesson for me, because I would put stuff off and I'll do it tomorrow.
Right.
So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
That's good. All right. So I get your nuggets in now. Get your nuggets in today, man. Get your nuggets in. All right, Ms. Emily, you want to read our info story for us right quick? Y'all see the angel change, a lot of stuff we're trying to read everything today. We shorten the things up, so we'll get it all in.
Good morning. Info. Pastor Perry in Illinois is called of God to build a church, both the congregation and the building. Neighbors came to hear Pastor Perry share the word encouragement, and the congregation soon tied together in bonds of love. Then Perry purchased land with cash, and the next step was to build the church. But that process would prove to be difficult. Before any construction,